Hey,
Sorry, we're already gone off the rails, guys.
congratulations on your debut film.
Same to you, sir.
Thank you.
Where did the name come from? Highland Sound Tracks.
We were spitballing.
Who came up with that?
I don't know. Somebody.
I feel like it may have been a Cody thing. I feel like, in fact, it was.
I think what were the first? We said sound, Highland Sound. We were trying to figure out Highland Sound something.
Okay, that's
And what was
that's
that? What was the
that's a good
first
one.
name? The first name was.
I don't
You came up with
remember.
the first name. Highland Sound.
I can't remember it either. And it's once it became Highland Sound Tracks, it just stuck.
Yeah, that was it. Like as soon
Yeah.
as you said it, I think the rest of it just got washed from my mind.
It wasn't Highland Sound Check. Highland Sound Tracks. That's what it is.
Oh, how about sound check?
Highland
Let's
Sound
just
Check.
change it now.
Let's change.
This guy's full of great
I just
ideas.
got all the ideas. The show's good. You guys are doing a great job.
Thanks, dude.
Thank you.
I enjoy watching.
This started out with you on board. This show did. For
I
a
did some.
brief minute.
I did some things.
Yeah, we still owe a huge debt of
You
gratitude.
You guys have really. Oh, I'm pulling the wire. You
Don't
guys
do
have
that.
really done. Am I still good over there?
What
You're
are these?
fine,
What
it's-
does this one do?
Are you guys? Are you good?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Sorry, that's your ears. This is Travis's ears.
Yeah, my ears are fine. The wire's fine. You can yank on it all you want.
Yeah. So. What? Yeah, I mean Highland Sound Tracks, Highland Sound Wave, Highland Sound Productions.
Mm-hmm. Cody was very helpful in helping us with our lights set up.
Yeah, we got the
initial
ceiling
camera
stuff.
setup,
Yeah.
yep.
I tried to make it to where we didn't have to grade log on these nice cameras, and it should be working.
Mm-hmm. It's been
It
working
seems to be working.
swimmingly,
Yes.
as they say.
I need to stop. I want to get to a point to where I'm not aware that I'm being filmed. It's like a weird thing that you have to like.
Oh, here?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's like you have to like. It's like I just want to talk to y'all, but it's like I'm aware that the cameras are there.
So
Like it's.
the documentary was when I had my first experience with that, which is way harder to do than you would think it would be. It's to have all of these in your face
And then I'm
constantly
walking around too.
and pretend like it's not there. It is
Like I'm like walking around checking cameras and messing with lights and
Yeah.
while you guys are trying to have a conversation. The Zoom one was probably the worst one. When you were talking to
Dave,
Dave, yeah. Dave from
Toy Maker.
Toymaker, that's right. Remember that one cut we did when you're outside of the Carrollton Theater.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. It's been so long. So how long has it been since the documentary's been finished? That's what I want to know.
I know that we landed on it took us a year and a half. I think we confidently came up with that.
When
number.
was the final export day? I remember that day. It feels like, I think it might have been like around Thanksgiving, like sometime around November
Oh, it feels
of
longer than that.
2023.
Oh, 2023.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're probably
I
right.
think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You excited about the festival tomorrow?
Yes, the Thin Line Fest.
The Thin Line Fest.
I've never been, so I'm excited to go.
We are both experiencing our first festival at the same time.
I'm a little nervous just because I don't want to. It's like a thing. It's like I think it's how you feel when you put an album out, kind of thing. It's like
Yeah.
it's like it's not ours anymore. It's like
Yep.
other people's.
Yep.
So
I'm not nervous about it, and I feel like I might have faulty wiring because of it, because I feel like I should be.
you're so used to putting out things, though. I think that's probably
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a story. You know what I mean? It's the story of the history of my musical career and stuff. So it's solidly what it is. I'm not worried about what people are going to think about it. It's
Yeah.
whether you like or don't like my past. There's nothing I can do about it, right?
Yeah, and I think what's nice about this is there's so many people involved that it's like it feels kind of like a community.
Yeah.
So that's what I hope people get out of it, is like that you see a bunch of people coming together to make music and, you know, have a good time and make art.
And that story kind of writes itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I think we just, it's hard. I try to pinpoint what that documentary was going to be. I think we started that maybe with a different plan that quickly became what I think is its own plan. It just kind of, the story told itself. So it's just like to take it in chronological order made the most sense. And it allowed us to kind of, within the dialogue, let the dialogue tell its own story, right?
Yeah, it's nice because it has kind of a natural rhythm, I think, because it's chronological, which is nice. And then with the chronology comes kind of like the feeling of things being summed up towards the end. So I think it works pretty well and I've sat and watched it a few times now, and it's like, it doesn't feel slow really in any places, which is really, I think, an accomplishment, because especially since we've watched it and we edited it and everything. And so it's nice to kind of watch it and realize like, oh, I'm not like bored out of my mind watching this as someone who's seen it so many times. Like, so I hope that when people see it for the first time, that it's like a fresh experience. And it's been a while since I've watched it all the way through. Well, I watched it when I exported it for the festival, but it's for their specific parameters. But yeah, it's I'm excited to hear what people feel about it, because I know we've had some really positive feedback from people who are in it. So it's exciting.
I think the thing that we missed in watching back was when all of these kind of key moments happen of reference to like a music video or reference to a thing, and then we show a clip from that specific thing. You and I have seen that specific thing 1,000 times, but for people who haven't, those things, those little elements are really interesting and intriguing and keep the story moving. Like those things are fresh for the people who haven't seen that.
And this
stuff
is like super fresh now, like something I just thought of like in the last day. It's kind of like this documentary, I feel like it's kind of telling people to go make things, like just do things. Like, because exactly what you're saying, where we're referencing all these things, and it's like, because we just wanted to make stuff, right? So I think that's kind of one of the main points of it, is like, look at all the things you can do, and you're free to do it. You know, you don't have to wait for someone to tell you to make it.
I love that.
So that's kind of what's really exciting, especially like a lot of the things Danielle says towards the end is very similar. And I love kind of the way that it ends. Well, we won't spoil it here, but you should watch it.
Yeah, there were some really poignant wrap-ups in the interviews. I don't know if people were intentional with that, but they just said some things that are like, oh, that's definitely going at the end. You know what I mean? That's important.
Yeah, the edit was so much. Like, it was so much.
Yeah.
It was fun though. It was fun to like distilling. And am I talking too loud?
Not at all.
Okay. Like when you get
that I'm here.
Oh yeah. But you like all of these interviews, it's like, how did we start? We basically took it, we made different timelines of every single raw interview. And then we kept like cutting.
Which, by the way, I think we could make 3 more continuations, like part 2 and part 3, just from the footage that hit the floor.
And there's so much stuff where people were talking about like very particular topics that didn't make it in.
Yeah.
Which is like, I mean, if you want to revisit that stuff, have fun, you know. But
no thanks.
If you wanted, I mean, you could make like an episode of something from some of the things, some of the interviews. Yeah. I mean, you and Grady talked for a very long time, and that was like that's kind of like I feel like it's kind of like the anchor interview for the whole documentary.
It is. Yeah.
Which is great, because that one also like looks better than a lot of them. And they all look pretty good, I think. Like, and what's funny is like, you can tell the ones that were shot later, because I kept like researching ways to make things look better.
The film just progressively looks better.
Yeah. Like, well, you can tell by like which one looks more Like some of them look more backlit than others, and some have more of like an eye light, you know. So it's, and then doing all of the overseas interviews, like and color grading those, that was fun. That was some of the coolest stuff. Like rewatching it for the first time after a while. It's like, oh wow, there's a lot of people involved.
Who scored that bad boy?
That was you, man.
No way. That was me?
That was you, bro.
No. Tooting a horn, huh?
I don't think we have like an audio mixing credit in the credits. So it's like, that's funny. It's just like not actually. There's no sound engineering or sound credits or anything.
It's all.
You just said songs and music, I think, is what you.
Yeah.
But like you did the audio. You're the audio mixer and the audio. You got that down.
I only needed my name in the film so many times. You know what I mean?
We all got. Well, you got one. You're a featured artist. Travis was a featured artist,
Right.
which is cool because Travis brought it to the next level. The whole thing, which is awesome.
Yes, sir.
Oh, thanks.
So it's no seriously, because like it was great. A lot of the like interlude stuff like ended up being a lot more exciting, and because a lot of it was kind of me just keyframing pictures together, which worked in some of it, but there was a lot more enhancements.
Yeah, like that one trick pony only goes so far. It like the stuff that you and I did before Travis came along. I'm proud of it. We did a really nice job of it, but Travis,
and it was excellent insofar as I leveraged that. Like, I looked at what you guys had already done and used that as kind of a stepping off point for what I was going to make.
Yeah,
so
and I noticed a lot. There was kind of a continuation of some of the like ideas,
right?
Which was,
exactly.
That was cool.
It bridged a few gaps that we weren't sure what to do with. So, like, beautifully, it made those dodgy parts.
Too.
It made those some of the most captivating parts of the documentary.
Yeah, it got frustrating a little bit because it would be like, well, we've done this before, like on other things.
Mm-hmm.
It was great to have like a new concept. I think one of my favorites was the one, whichever project was, it looked like it was set in like a grungy bar, like a rock, like where you would go and perform in a dive bar kind of place. I forget which one. Do you remember which one? It was one of the earlier projects.
One of the earlier ones, yeah.
We might have to insert the...
How do I not know what you're talking about?
The place with like the writing on the ceiling?
Yeah, like the graffiti inside. Yeah. Like it was all, the walls were covered in graffiti.
Where the not Matt Mats were?
Oh.
I think it might have been an Aubrey project.
Yeah. I'm remembering now. That I'm remembering the venue.
The not Matt Mats rang a bell for you, didn't it?
Yeah. Like who did we disappear?
Nobody. This is how it always was.
Right.
Retconned.
No, that was a fun venue. That was actually that was like a volleyball kind of outdoor venue, and then they had this kind of just room for when the weather was bad, and it was just this disgusting.
So it was like a real venue that was like that. Oh my gosh! Wow, that's cool.
Yep.
Okay, so I've said cool like 3 times now, so that has to stop.
That's magical.
that was fun.
It was fun.
That was fun.
Fun, magical.
What's cooler than being cool?
Magical.
Yes.
Ice cold.
Ice magical.
What's cooler than being cool? Outcast.
That's right.
I got to go see a Silverchair concert in Houston, and Daniel Johns gets on stage and says, "What's cooler than cool?" And the whole audience goes, "Ice cold." And I had never heard any of it. And I was so confused. I've never felt so fish out of water in my life. I was like, how do I not know what's going on right now?
Did everybody start shaking like a Polaroid picture?
I think that probably happened too. Yeah.
It's good. It seems like it would hurt after a while because it's like that you got to aggressively shake Polaroids.
Right.
It's hey, I'm old enough to know what a Polaroid is. So
what's a Polaroid?
It's like when you take a picture with your phone and like put like one of those filters over it, and then you just throw your phone in the air like this,
okay,
multiple times.
I was thinking like steroids for polar bears kind of thing.
Yeah, good one.
Ice cold.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, as we creep up on the 25-minute mark, I'll tell my polar bear joke.
Oh yeah, let's hear it.
How do you make How do you make a polar bear trap?
What kind of trap are we talking here? Like
trap
music?
Not trap music, but I mean, that might trap a polar bear. Depends on how much bass.
BASE?
Yeah.
I give.
Okay, so
Like what kind of bass are we talking here?
BASS, like the fish.
Like BASS.
Like
Bass.
like a fish.
Oh, another Outcast reference.
So you go and you go to the ice that's for like a frozen over lake, and you cut a hole in the ice.
Okay.
Right?
It's a nice hole.
And then around the ice, you place small little green peas, right? You place them equidistantly
I'm already lost.
around the ice. So you have
going
a hole,
somewhere.
You have a hole in the ice, right? Mm-hmm. And then you put peas around the ice.
Okay.
And so when that bear comes up to take a pee, you kick him in the ice hole. You already blew the damn punchline, Cody. Thanks.
I like it. There are a couple levels to it, and I like that. You got to peel a little bit to get to it.
I also like how peas are frozen most of the time.
Exactly.
And they're frozen again.
I actually thought this was going in a green piece direction, and I was like, "Oh, that's a long way."
Is the mic too far from me now?
That's like an Uncle Dad joke.
Yeah,
you guys have Uncle Dads, right?
I do. I have Uncle Dads.
Uncle Dads?
Yeah, Uncle Dads.
Nick Aha
Uh-huh.
was a friend of mine in high school. Still is a friend of mine.
Good old Nick. We love Nick.
So I saw him on Instagram post like a story. It was when stories were new. It was like so long ago. Mm-hmm. And you're setting up. He was helping you set up the track for.
Really, stories were happening that long ago?
Yeah.
Wow.
Or it might have been just an Instagram video.
Okay.
I don't know if it was a story. I think it was a story.
Okay.
What was the song that he was setting up the track for? Hold on. I don't remember.
Oh, I know.
Say it. I don't want the time, please.
Yeah. We can sit here for 20 minutes until you figure it out.
You're
Let's do that.
conceding your time.
Please.
Sweet Myrtle Moon.
No, it wasn't Sweet Myrtle Moon. I'm saying this is what I saw Nick. I saw Nick setting up. And I was like, dude, this guy, he's got all this production equipment.
Harris Orion, Newsbreak.
Newsbreak. Yeah. He was setting up a track for you. And I was like, dude, who is this guy? And what's funny is I knew your dad because I'd like done some leaf raking.
We'll call it yard work.
I've done some yard work with your dad and Nick, just like a few times for over the months before that. So anyway, the first video that we worked on was Sweet Myrtle Moon, and I just I helped set up and I was excited, and because there was all this production stuff going on, and we kept pushing the track back and forth. And I don't think I got any shots for that one, though. I didn't roll any cameras. I just helped. I was just like a PA. And then we did Miracles and Wars, and I got a couple of shots that you
were
liked.
hands on.
Yeah,
far more.
I did some. I didn't do more, but like the other camera person, I helped set up things, and then I set up the one violin shot that's in the video like a few times with JT, and
which is, for the record, the best shot of the video.
Thanks,
hands down.
Yeah, thanks. And then the next video that I was involved with was Wine in the Well, and I didn't realize that I was running the entire shoot, but it was, and so it was like, oh wow, we really stepped up here, and the rest is kind of history, because then we just started doing stuff. Like I think Carnivores was the next thing we did after that, which was years. I think like 2 years later. I feel like
I haven't counted the number. It's got to be in the 30s.
What?
Music videos that we've done?
No. It's like 15. That's just still a lot, but
That's it?
Yeah, it's not 30s, no.
We have one project we did. We have two projects. We did a video for every song. So that right there, that's already 19.
19 for what? Well, you did some of those. I didn't do all those.
Oh, okay, fair.
So
fair.
I think I've done 15 music videos, maybe 16. I don't know because I counted. I did like IMDb, and anyway, I wanted to have like a list of videos on there. But maybe don't put that in. But
which one? Because
whatever, it's fine.
Oh,
So
it's going in.
It's your digital resume.
yeah, it's like
it's a portfolio.
But it is. I mean, I did direct those videos, and then I mean, you're credited properly too on those. So, and all the people appearing in those, everybody's credited in those.
Let's talk about how we came to because I still don't know how we came to it, and I still don't know why we decided to credit ourselves as joint director and joint producer. Do you remember why?
For the music videos?
No. Well, I think we've gone back and forth on how we've credited ourselves for the music videos, but the documentary was what I was asking.
We weren't produced. I wasn't a producer on the documentary.
Directed and produced by both.
Oh,
of
we
you
said
and I.
that?
Yeah. That's how little it means.
All right, let's pull up IMDb. We need.
Well,
to
we
do some
definitely,
updates.
we 100% both directed this documentary.
Well, now you're making
that's
me
for
wonder.
sure. And produced means, yeah, we did produce and direct because we both put all of our resources into this. So jointly in a lot of ways. In some ways more than others, each of us. And then, of course, like we had a segment where we were talking about our music videos, which was great. It was fun and it was magical.
And it's now meta that we're talking about us talking about those things.
That's really cool,
That's-
guys.
It's my hair. How's my hair?
You can't say any more cools, but I can.
Cool.
Cool.
I thought it was magical.
I thought it was magical also.
So, what's your favorite music video we've done?
Ooh.
I don't know if we ever even, I don't think we actually addressed this in the documentary. Like what
the favorites
I
were?
was so tired because, okay, here's a little BTS for that. When we filmed that, we did an original segment that was terrible. Like it was you and me like sitting under, like over a light, and it was so bad.
It's frightful.
It was so bad. Like
Unsettling.
the angle was like down here looking at us. Okay.
Let me explain that a little bit, at least for Travis, if not the viewer. We saw a reference of an interview or a documentary or something, and we really liked the way it looked. But the table,
It was The Chosen.
Yeah. The main interview table was glass
Lit.
top
It was lit.
and
Yeah,
lit, and we were like,
underneath.
"Wow, that's fantastical. Let's do that." And the way we ended up putting it together, it just looked like this. What would you call it? Like a light from the center of the earth just coming up. Like you could barely see either of us.
Well, it also was
just this
bouncing off the
blinding
ceiling because the
light.
ceiling was too close to us.
Yeah.
So it was like also coming back at us. So it like didn't work.
It was so off. Like we were just talking about normal things, and there's just this light that you can't make sense of.
Well, I wanted to talk about, we never really talked about like what our favorite videos are.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about things we loved about certain videos. But what's your favorite video that we have done together? Because I know you've done some that I really like in the past, and then some of the newer ones.
I think we have to that we land on the similar spot of Sailing Mayday.
Yeah. That one just worked. And I said this in the documentary that it turned out better than I thought than the dream vision I had for it, which was and Brittany was great. You know, everybody was great in it. You looked great in like the black get up that we wanted to do. And, the story, like it's a pretty basic story, but I think it works for the song, and like it really works like for the setting.
Yeah, it's the only one that I feel like has a full narrative to it. Like I feel like the story is complete from start to finish. Where I think maybe some of the other ones we had a good idea and a good concept, but we maybe just filled the rest in as we filmed. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean Eventides is like the opposite of the spectrum, but it's so there's so much happening in that.
So Eventides was not my favorite to film by any means, but it's one of my favorite results. I love the final of that one.
I think Eventides is the one that we had the most locations on.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ride the Line was the one that was the farthest away because it was literally in North Carolina and West Virginia. And
I think that's the most memorable. Like that's definitely the most time and money and effort we've put into any of the videos.
Yeah. I think we put more effort into that video than, no, we didn't. The documentary had way more effort put into it than.
I mean, it can feel that way.
Yeah. It's been interesting because it's like, it's been such a long time since we finished this because we missed last festival season. And now it's like, it's kind of over, you know, like in a way, like not that I don't ever want to work on a video or anything again. I do. I mean, if I
Same.
lived here, yeah. I mean, imagine like if we did something like with a big budget, like that'd be crazy one day.
I wouldn't know what to do.
I mean, the future is, you know,
we've been
future
so,
could be
so
bright.
shoestring for
Yeah.
all of them.
Yeah. But it's like the future could be bright in that way.
Yeah. Let's get some money, guys.
Yeah. Yeah. Cha-ching.
Yeah. It's overrated.
Yeah, money's overrated.
Oh, what's going on with you? Like, what are you working on? Because I hear all these different. I hear this new project, which I'm excited about. Which, I mean, I don't know if you want to talk about it, but
I'm working on a documentary about
it is another one,
the history of my music.
About Highland Sound Productions?
bro. Oh, you're doing it all like a side by side documentary, but this one's going to come out a little later. It's not part 2; it's a parallel.
The only difference is it just doesn't have you in it.
It's your director. You're the only credited director.
It's a remake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
2020.
Is it a live action
It'll be
remake?
the 2026 version.
It's a live action remake.
Yeah.
We got John Cena in this one, so
Oh, dude.
it's gonna be sick.
What about The Rock?
I don't think you put both of those dudes in the same movie, do you? That's a lot of neck.
We rolled again because I wanted to talk about editing and like our kind of earliest experiences with making videos and films and music videos. And
Lead
so
the way.
like we were talking about how this show, the studio, is using all these oneers. And I love how it's like when everybody starts making videos, like at least my experience and some other people I know, I'm sure it's pretty universal. We'll start with a camera trying to just film things, you know, people acting it out. Either it's like sitting on a tripod or you're holding it. And, you know, and back when I was first making things that I was interested in, I had like tape cameras. And so what I would do is just take the camera and follow whatever's going on with my friends or whatever making home movies. And I think it's crazy how it's like, it's kind of like those bell curves where it's like one end, the low end. The low end is like the first person, they're the first time you ever are making anything. You're following the action. And then you have editing, which is like cutting back and forth, you know, cutting back and
I'll
forth.
do the appropriate camera switches
so like
when you say that.
You, me,
Yeah.
him,
Yeah.
us,
We.
and us.
We.
So, and then it's like on the top you have like Birdman in the studio and 1917, where it's like, oh, they're just following people with a camera. It's like, and so it's interesting how it's like at the bottom and the top of, but it's the same. But anyway, it's fun to like kind of go into when we first started making things, and it's like you don't think of editing when you start out. Like you think of like, am I just getting everything that I need to get?
Yeah. Were you even concerned with playback? Did you go to look at anything you had recorded
No.
immediately after recording it?
No, but what's cool is like the first trick I feel like you use or you learn is like when you're recording it and then you pause it and someone goes out of frame and then it's like, oh, they disappeared. It's like magically disappeared. And so I wonder if like so many filmmakers' first thing with like narrative filmmaking is
Disappearing people.
like some like a magical wizard that disappears and reappears, some kind of character that's like known to teleport or something.
Well,
like,
wasn't that the video that everyone knows as kind of like maybe the first or maybe the first official, but it's like the Man in the Moon thing where there's a bullet in the.
Oh yeah.
Wasn't that based
That's
around
what-
a whole lot of stopping and
Oh, man.
disappearing?
How am I
quotes and
not?
stuff?
This is like such
Yeah.
a terrible thing that I don't know his name, but he played him in Hugo, this Martin Scorsese movie. Have you seen Hugo, the one with the kid?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like that was that kid. That's
I didn't know
him.
that was Scorsese.
George Malaise, right? I think it's Malaise. Yeah.
Sounds right.
Malais, I think is his name. And he would do like, so he would pause the camera, the actor would leave, and then he would do like a smoke thing right after. And it looked like,
Right.
magic.
Yeah.
So it's really cool because it's like we all get these shows, like The Studio and Birdman and all that. It's like they've gotten to the ultimate kind of like they've rehearsed and gotten everything perfect with the move of the camera when you're not editing. Although like there is editing involved, but which Last House of God is probably the biggest example of that, where it's like that music video was, okay, we want to get this, we want to get this, we want to get this. How can we? I think we did a pretty okay job like on the day. I mean, it was a crazy shoot, but
It was rushed, but
we got what we needed.
Yeah.
And it was great because we ended up like we got the people done. Other than the last couple of shots, we got the people kind of whatever they needed to get done, and so that was really fun.
magical,
to do.
in fact.
It was magical because that wow, and
So we got a music
Filmography.
video out of the documentary.
we did.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Have you released it yet? No,
I
you
have.
haven't.
It's
You
released.
have. Okay.
That's exciting.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have to do much, or the work was already done.
That is an
Hey.
example of using an editor to its advantage because we dug into the editing software and tried to see what we could do with all of this footage and make something really interesting with the song.
I think for you and me, it felt maybe anticlimactic, but for anybody who hasn't seen it, it's just like it's magical shot after it's captivating. The
I
whole
also
way
thought
through.
we
It's-
lost it because of the way that I edited it in like the color
right,
page
yeah.
instead of like on the main timeline. I was like, where did all of that stuff go that we worked on for? I think it probably took like 20 hours to do all that whole thing. It was probably 20 hours of work.
If
on the
there
computer.
if there is a bells and whistles video of ours, it's that. That's
What can we do with all this software?
yeah, just like let's see how many bells and whistles we can fit into one video.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's been great just to do all these videos and to just learn and repeat and make something fun, progress, culminate.
There you go.
I'm feeling culminatory. Let me tell you. So yeah, your favorite movies are like Wes Anderson.
A lot of my favorite movies, Wes Anderson is responsible for. Yeah.
We tried to do some Wes Anderson type stuff with Even Tides with some of the symmetrical shots and
Close-ups.
like the missing poster. That's like the most Wes Anderson thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite
That's
shots
what
I've ever
pops to
done
mind
too.
when you say that. Yeah.
I love that shot. Like, and the one of you, like, for some reason it just does it for me. Like the shot of you coming into the cabin and you set your keys down and like it just, I don't know what.
Oh yeah.
There's something about it.
Yeah. Which I put in the trailer.
Oh yeah, thanks. I didn't notice that until now.
I know that was one of your favorite shots, so that's why I kept it.
Oh, thank you.
Because I personally don't love that shot, just because I don't love that photograph of me.
Oh yeah.
But that's only me being critical of myself.
Well, I'm talking about the
itself.
shot of you walking in.
Okay.
Yeah.
With the bay window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like it's black and white, but you can see the details of the trees outside the window out of focus. Mm-hmm. It's just such a great shot. That just happened because I placed the camera right there and there it is. Sometimes it works.
If I had done better prep, I have a list of my favorite shots. I think I have far more favorite shots than I do favorite
of you
videos.
In The Last House of God are some of my favorites. Like the slow motion close-ups of you singing and that. Yeah.
I think the one shot that we just kind of I don't know if it was, I know you were planning it. You were absolutely going for the shot, but it was like, is this gonna work or not? Where I wake up laying on the floor at the off the grid.
Yeah.
And then I get up and you're following it. So it kind of,
It's like
the shot's confusing,
Yeah.
but it's perfectly timed and perfectly placed. That's one
great.
thing I love that.
And that got put in a really great spot too.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got, oh man, Eventide is full of them because, well, the beach shot, the final one.
Yeah.
I spent like 10
It's
hours.
our most impressive shot.
I didn't spend 10 hours. I spent like 3 hours in Premiere trying to get that like perfect. And it's still kind of wobbly, but
What's the one where
it's
you're
because
in
it was
the,
so windy that day and the gimbal just didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
What's the one where you're in the back seat of the car?
Oh yeah, that's Eventides. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I really liked the camera work on that one because the car was, if I remember from the story, the car was stationary.
For half
Oh,
of the
yeah.
shots anyway.
Well, you can't even tell.
But
yeah.
but I mean, in the way you were moving, it really sold the car movement, and so yeah, I thought that was
with like the light, you doing the lights over the
yeah.
yeah,
The lights
yeah.
are
I thought
crazy.
it was good. That's one of my favorites.
The fire scenes in Sailing Mayday are some of my favorite. My favorite
Yep.
shot in the entire video
Yep.
is when the fire is in this corner,
Mhm.
like it's on the bottom left corner when you're looking at it, and then you guys are off over here on the right. We might insert that. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but
Yeah, that was one of the key things that you needed for that video. You were all about very early stages of that. We're like, it's gonna have fire somewhere.
yeah, and that was great.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, this has been like the best. My favorite things that I've done have been your music videos. So it's been like Sailing Mayday was like a major milestone because we got to shoot on like a 12-bit pro camera.
Yeah.
So that was a huge deal. And now we're talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're going to watch the documentary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna wrap it up by telling you that I'm extremely proud of you and extremely excited for you. Excited for us
Thank
collectively,
you. Yeah.
but from friend to friend, I'm excited for you and I'm proud
Thank
of
you, Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, excuse me. Thank you, BC.
You see, get it right.
But yeah, I'm excited for this. Is exciting. Like I love this show.
Awesome.
And I love that what you guys have done and turned it into, especially like the studio stuff is cool.
Thanks, bud. Hey, if only we had a trailer to show the audience a sneak peek of the movie that we made.
Sneak peek. Yeah, we don't know how to set up a trailer, so here it is.
Perfect.
I wanted to be in a band before I owned an instrument or could play an instrument.
Yeah.
But, getting together with you was like the first time I was like, okay, this is actually how it works.
Having the love of music strikes a vibe with why we're all friends.
My instinct is to go back as far as I can remember to where like that seed was kind of like a musical seed was planted.